What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are back here for another Trove Let Die Fish. I don't know why so many people keep asking me to do the die fish joke, but in any case, we're hanging on the PC version of Trove. I know that it's been a million zillion years since we had a PC episode, let alone just a normal Trove episode. There's been lots of unboxing, lots of other side videos and stuff like that. Been super duper busy with lots of stuff that I'm gonna be kind of talking about today, but before we get into any of that, right now I actually have a Trove forum post trying to get the proper ban feature added to clubs, thanks to Extras Go. I hope I'm saying that name right. That's just how it's spelt. I'm probably saying it wrong. But a long time ago, that dude ended up throwing me, or dudette, throwed me a bunch of Echo Wave Cycle codes. So today we're going to be giving away 6 of them to 6 lucky people. And all you got to do to qualify for any of that stuff, folks, is just hit that like button and leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can leave your username. You can leave a funny story. It doesn't really matter. You could just leave a comment saying whatever you want, right? But let's talk about all the craziness that's been going on with Trove, and also why I've been a little bit absent. I've still been logging in and getting my dailies on all the versions of Trove and stuff like that, but generally speaking, I've been really busy, you know. Lots of real life stuff is going on behind the scenes. I'm not gonna get into all of it because yawn, you know, boring, and putting me to sleep. I don't know why I did the animation like sooner, the animation for sleep sooner than actually saying like that it would put people to sleep. I don't know. But something very different has been going on with me, you know, like I've kind of been changing, if you haven't already been able to tell. I think for the best, because I feel that I'm getting with the times and breaking a lot of really old habits of mine, one of which is just kind of being more accepting about like everything that's going on, you know, and being a lot less serious with the channel while also taking it more seriously, for sure. Don't worry, BMX, it's okay. What I mean by that is, like, just to kind of elaborate on that, what I mean is, like, for example, you know, we took a couple days off from doing the Trove Let's Play series. You know, I've been super duper busy with a lot of stuff going on, and in general, haven't really been feeling Trove, you know. There always gets to this point where I just need a little bit of a break, and that's kind of what I ended up doing. So I took a little bit of a break, and now we're back, right? So now we can hit it harder than ever, and it's all good. Don't worry about it. We'll be having Trove out probably every day, or at least every day that I can manage for quite some time. But the other thing, too, is, recently I've been talking a lot in side videos about all these new costumes that are supposed to be added to the game. We all thought that they were going to end up being added, last week, I think, by the time this video comes out. Yeah, last week's patch. We all thought that it was gonna end up coming out there, but nope, they ended up delaying that. You know, it makes sense because the Trove devs have actually been swapping their offices. If you don't follow their Twitter, that's where you can get updates on all that stuff. But from what I hear, they're actually, like, this is weird. I understand why they're doing it, because they're addicted to having a specific day for patches, but apparently they're going to be skipping over this week, and I don't know if they're skipping over next week. Like, apparently it's going to be 2 more weeks before they end up having a patch or something like that, which is okay, or it would be if they weren't, like, a long time ago in a galaxy far away, Trove used to have weekly updates, and on top of all of that stuff, they would actually have hotfixes. And for some weird reason, I don't know, maybe it got to be too much work for them, maybe they're not getting paid enough, you know, because the CEO's taking it all, I don't know, who cares? But the fact of the matter is that they kind of, you know, they downgraded to doing updates twice every 2 weeks. Okay, sure, that's fine. You know, the nice trade-off of that was that there was going to be a bulk more content, but as we've seen, it hasn't really made a difference, honestly speaking. You know, the patches are still the same. If they don't have anything worth adding to the game, they still just have that as one full patch anyways. Whatever, that's fine. The only problem is that they also ended up moving away from the hotfixes, which is disappointing because there's lots and lots of bugs coming out with these latest patches. The biggest one of which is going on right now is just just the Neon Ninja Shuriken is so broken, dude. Devs have confirmed that it is a bug, that the Neon Ninja Shuriken is tweaked a bit and not really working, like the hit detection is all messed up. Thankfully, you know, we were all worried that it was going to be something permanent, like they ended up nerfing the Neon Ninja. Devs have confirmed that it's a bug, they are going to fix it. I guess we're just gonna have to deal with broken Neon Ninja for like a couple weeks now, though, right? But anyways, as far as all the other Trove stuff is concerned, apparently they're talking about upping the mastery cap, you know, and that's okay. Honestly speaking, I think that's more PC players are asking for upped mastery. Console players don't want it in the least. I mean, it's hard enough to get max mastery on the console version, especially because you gotta pay a ton of money. But then as far as, like, that's pretty much all there is with all the Trove stuff. I don't want to get into any of all that stuff and get too ahead of myself as far as all the news is concerned, just because we'll see what ends up happening, right? Like, that's kind of how I approach this game, is it's always, we'll see, because devs have talked about many things before, and then it just doesn't get added to the game. Plasma fishing, the Hydra boss, which hopefully is coming with this next patch, or the next big expansion. If the Hydra boss doesn't come with the next big expansion, honestly speaking, they should just give up on it, if they haven't already, because nobody's hyped about it, nobody cares. As far as the community is concerned, because I pride myself on the fact that because I'm, you know, because the people chose me, let's say, I actually get the most feedback, I would say anyways, out of most normal players with this game, right? Even to the point where I actually get a lot more feedback than the devs, not necessarily than try and support, because people are constantly reporting all the millions and zillions of bugs and stuff, right? I'm not trying to sound negative or tease at it or anything. I'm just saying, as far as the top features requested from everybody is not only more classes. Obviously, everybody wants a new class. Console players are going to end up being tricked because they're going to put the Dino Tamer out with the next big expansion and act like it's a big thing. But the big class that everybody has been wanting for a very long time is a fist fighter character, right? And then on top of that, even more so than a new class, people want clubs to be more fleshed out. You know, they want issues for anti-griefing. I want ways to ban people and stuff like that. There just needs to be generally more control for club worlds. Now, we've got all that Trove stuff out of the way, so now I can actually talk about what's been going on behind the scenes. So, it's finally gotten to the point in my YouTube career where I've started to look at things a little bit more seriously. I know, you know, because I keep saying I'm looking at things more seriously by taking things less serious. And what applies with that is my interaction with the community. You know, I'm still hanging out with all you guys and gals in the comments section and reading all your comments and stuff like that. But for the most part, like you may have noticed with the Discord, for example, I still join up every now and then when I have time, but not nearly as often as I used to. Like, it just kind of hit me one day where it's like, I can either sit here and focus on hanging out with people, not that there's anything against that, or I can sit and focus on my YouTube career. And what's more important to me is my passion. You know, my passion for gaming, my passion for Let's Plays, my passion for commentating and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna try and hang out with all you guys and gals as often as I can, for sure, because I still pride myself on my fan interaction. But the fact of the matter is, folks, that the channel's growing. You know, it's getting to that point. I've got so many opportunities behind the scenes that I don't really talk about. You know, I've got tons of partnership offers. People wanting to meet me at PAX. I got so many indie games that are trying to, you know, indie contacts with indie games and stuff of me wanting me to cover their games and stuff like that. I'm slowly starting to actually get more contacts with bigger time companies going on behind the scenes. You know, I got a little bit of a thing going on with Nintendo for my Zelda videos and stuff. It's not really as elaborate and over-exaggerated as it sounds. That's kind of why I don't want to really get into it, but I'm just trying to say that things are on the move, even if it doesn't seem like it, folks. You know, there are so many opportunities that are presenting themselves to me that it just, that's what kind of hit me, where it's like, I really, like, this is becoming a thing. YouTube is actually starting to become, like, my actual life. Like, up to this point, you know, it's like, it's always been a dream of mine for sure to end up becoming like a famous YouTuber. You know, it's not that I'm necessarily doing it for the fame. I don't want to give that impression in any way, shape, or form. It's more that just doing YouTube and doing it full time as a living, that's already enough. But then beyond that, it actually is getting to the point where, you know, 100,000 subs is actually a really big deal. At least for me anyways, you know, like I'm really, can I grab it? What the? That's so weird, dude. That item doesn't actually exist. I've never seen that before. So strange. But yeah, things are just getting so super duper crazy serious with all the YouTube stuff that I have just been focusing on my craft more than ever, and I'm loving it. You know, I've kind of been unsubscribing from all the craziness that's been going on behind the scenes with like all the trolls and haters and stuff, because as Trove is getting more popular, obviously my channel is getting more popular, and with it does mean that there's gonna be a bunch more negative people coming around. That's why I actually want that ban feature to become a thing, because it's starting to get a little bit too much to manage. Now, unfortunately, one of the things that seems to be going on with this game, you know, time will tell. We'll see what ends up happening. But I think, you know, how do I put this? I think Trove is done. That, I know that might not make sense because, you know, the game, I just said, the game is like gaining popularity like crazy. Now, what I mean by that is I think that the game engine itself has done everything that it can. Unless the next big expansion ends up surprising us, you know, one of the big top things on top of classes and clubs and stuff like that, and people wanting general fixes for the game, what everybody wants on Trove above all else is more content, more things to do, because outside of spending money, there's not really that many things to do. And I'm gonna use Scythe as an example. If you don't know what that game is, it's another free-to-play game that ended up having a big patch come out recently that added some new tools and some new toys to mess with and stuff like that, but for the most part, it took the game mechanics and just kind of stretched them out. It didn't really end up refining them anymore, or making or adding anything new. It just kind of stretched out what it already had, right? And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make with Trove, is I think that this game engine has seen its limits, and that's why, you know, most every time they end up having a patch, it just adds new costumes, some new mount, or some new, you know, bunch of quests that show up in the top right. Generally speaking, there's no new actual content. We're not getting new boss fights, you know, we're not getting new equipment or gear or anything like that, no set items or rare loot or anything. We're not really getting anything in terms of content and stuff that we can actually play with. You know, we're not getting any better tools for building and creating in club worlds. We're not getting any ways to manage clubs any better and stuff. And you know, I'm just trying to kind of make a point here. And even with classes in general, we're not getting anything new as far as stuff to play and mess around with as far as a video game is concerned, because most of the updates are either just adding more costumes and allies that nobody asked for, or they're just adding more ways for the player to kind of be pigeonholed into actually paying for stuff. Now, I'm not hating on the game, don't get me wrong. You know, I love this game. It's my favorite MMO of all time. That's why I've been playing it for years. I'm gonna keep playing it for years, regardless of what ends up happening with it, unless the servers finally just end up crashing and exploding one day, right? But the fact of the matter is that I think it's, you know, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I think I can confidently say that I don't know if there's ever going to end up being anything big and brand new coming to this game. Now, they may surprise us with the next big expansion, but honestly speaking, you know, while so many of you are new to Trove, you know, lots of people coming in with the console hype and stuff like that, and it's a great game, don't get me wrong, especially with the version that ended up coming out on console, we already have a lot to do. But the fact is that I've been playing this game for years, and the only actual content that I can think of off the top of my head is Mantle of Power, which ended up adding the gem system, which, you know, it's kind of hit or miss for some people. It's not really a good system. It just kind of works with the game and with the cash shop and stuff like that. Then there's also the Shadow Tower bosses. Those used to not be a thing, so it's cool that they ended up adding those eventually. You know, and then otherwise the classes that are being added, they're kind of just, you know, they're kind of just shifting what they already have in terms of the classes, not really anything new or special. Even the Dino Tamer, sorry to say, because I love the Dino Tamer, he's a really cool character for sure, but the fact of the matter is that that was a community, kind of a community effort. If you haven't already checked out, like a long time ago, there was actually people that were making mods of other characters, and kind of, I think it was actually Scythe the Virus that ended up making a mod of the Lunar Lancer that looked like a cool raptor assassin dude, and the idea was so exciting of having like a proper assassin character like that, and something that was really really bad to the bone and gnarly for this game, you know, that people loved it. People really wanted it to be a thing in the game, and then suddenly they come out with a Pokemon trainer that's just, you know, he's just a gunslinger mixed with a Tomb Raiser, and, you know, while I love the Dino Tamer, he's just not cool, you know, he's just another humanoid. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to also get into, is that I think the devs are playing it a little bit too safe, if I might say so, just as a player. You know, I'm not trying to say how they should do their job or anything like that. I'm most certainly not a game dev or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is that I've wanted for a very long time for them to think a little bit more outside the box and actually make the characters in the game, like, where's our class that can't use a mount because he's too big, you know? Or where's the character that's just a Cubesley class, and he's like 1 block tall, and he's really good for mining and digging and stuff like that. Maybe he throws a bunch of bombs on the ground to fight enemies or something. I don't know, but in any case, where are characters like that that are more gimmicky and strange, that kind of offer up a different play style, rather than just all of these characters falling into the category of melee, ranged, DPS, or tanks? Because that's pretty much all there really is with this entire game. Even when the Dino Tamer was coming out, I remember I thought it was really funny, because in the streams, you know, when the devs were showing off the class, everybody was asking, like, does this fall under the category of DPS or tank? And the devs kept saying it falls under a support class, and it's like, there are no support classes in this game. I'm sorry, devs, there is not anything to do with the support class in this game. Even the Chloromancer can kind of be considered a healer, but it's not really a required class or anything like that, which is one of the things that I love about this game, is that there isn't support classes and stuff like that for sure, but it's like they could definitely stand to vary up the gameplay as in terms of what they already have, rather than just kind of expanding upon what they already have. You know, it's like, that new update that's going to be coming out sometime soon is just going to be adding a bunch of new costumes. They also get the Extra Life Pack, which is going to be coming out very soon. Check out Nintendo Gamer's video on it. I couldn't end up getting the pack on the test server, so I can't actually make a video on it myself, so I couldn't check anything out, so I checked out his video. But in any case, you know, it's just adding, like, new dragons and stuff like that, and generally speaking, there's not really much foresight being put into this game. Magic Find, for example. They keep adding dragons, thus adding more Magic Find to the game, thus meaning that they keep having to nerf drop rates to compensate for having more Magic Find. And that doesn't do good for new players. You know, you want new players to feel rewarded for joining into the game. Not sit there and feel like they're getting absolutely nothing. Like, look at this! This is just casually grinding, and I've got all these stellars that I don't need. I've been giving them away, just randomly, to people that need them, and people that seem like they're actually playing the game. Don't you go just randomly begging for all of the stuff, folks. I keep an eye on my people, you know, I keep an eye on the people that are actually, like, playing this game regularly, and I reward them as such, where it's like, okay, dude, here you go. I know it's difficult for you to get this stuff, and, well, there you go. Not to mention just selling them in general, because there's no way of making flux anymore outside of being pay to win with all of the credit pouches, or just flipping on the market, which I don't have the time to do anything like that. Anyways, folks, thought that we would have a longer video today so that we could kind of talk about these things and I could catch you up on everything. Not to mention, it's been a while since we had a proper actual episode, so there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to actually talk about. And yeah, in any case, you know, I feel good talking about all these things with all you fine, beautiful people, so I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I would very much appreciate if you would hit that like button, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sign on, stay epic, everybody.